and their lead. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game, and no signs of slowing down.
4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. This one fielded at the 5. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And the Texans will take over. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And Pierce gets it again on second down. 63 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that, but I think that they were right about this one.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
On 3rd down, here's Pierce. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. The drive starts with a completion left side, and he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Up the middle, here's Taylor. A nice little juke. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Another try after the 1st down sack. Ryan, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So little by little, the better of these two sides starting to become more and more apparent.
3 points is not a knockout blow in the 3rd quarter, but when the other guys haven't shown they can do anything, they don't have any points, this is looking pretty good. Maybe not a knockout blow, but a good stiff jab, that's for sure.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
1st down, they go right back to Pierce. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another. Back now in Houston. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And this offense on 3rd down today, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Working out of the gun, Mills. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On the counter, it's Taylor. He juked him. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Meanwhile, Ryan's throw into the hands of Pittman here. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. Throw going to be caught left side here by Granson. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Well, Charles, no matter what the prognosticators say before the season, whether they think you're going to be good, bad, or somewhere in the middle, you never quite know how week 1 is going to play out. But for them, it has been an impressive performance, and they are well on their way to a 1-0 start.
Yeah, it's a lot like opening up presents, isn't it, partner? You're not quite sure what's inside, but you're hopeful, right? In this case, exactly what they were looking for, exactly what they need.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. Shaquille Leonard, the All-Pro, in on the tackle. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Hill. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Going for it with Pierce. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Mills, 4th down, gotta have it. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Matt Ryan connecting on his 4th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Colts are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. From the 6.
Jakeem Grant on the return. The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
And they'll go right back to Pierce. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Pierce now up the middle. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1. They'll try and run for it. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. Brian wants to throw it. Rolling to his left. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Ryan. Connecting here with Pittman on the out route. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. McLaughlin for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
45, Texans nothing.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. From the 6.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
On 1st and 10, Mills. He finds his man, complete. That's Grant. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Mills. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. This one winding toward a conclusion, and how would you assess how the secondary has played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitched. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, You're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Oh, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Brought down at the 30-yard line. A 2-yard gain on the play.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed asleep. So for the Colts, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.